Hi, I'm Gene with Performance Bicycle, and I'm going to be talking about removing cartridge bottom brackets. Now, the tools you're going to need to remove a cartridge bottom bracket is a bottom bracket removing tool and either a crescent wrench or a socket drive that will fit into your tool. In this case, it's a 1/2-inch socket drive. We already have the cranks removed. What I like doing, I like removing the non-drive side cup first, okay? This typically is an adjustable cup. I find that it's a little bit easier to remove this cup than the drive side cup. The drive side cup is usually a fixed cup that is moved, it's screwed all the way into the shell, and the non-drive side cup is installed afterwards. So we'll go into that here in a little bit. But to remove the non-drive side or the left side cup from the bottom bracket, we're going to insert the tool over the top just like this. And since it's the left side, to loosen it up, we're going to go counterclockwise. Okay? The way I like to remember it is if my wrench is hanging down below like this, I'm going to pull toward the back wheel. So if it's hanging down just like this, to loosen this, I'm going to pull it toward the back wheel just like this. Okay, now this was fairly easy to do. Sometimes these guys get locked up pretty hard and it can get difficult to move. So, but once you've got it broken loose, all you do is unscrew it the rest of the way. And that's what they call the adjustable cup right there. You can see the bottom bracket, the rest of the bottom bracket is still in there. So next thing I need to do, I need to turn the bike around on my repair stand. I've turned the bike around on the repair stand so I can have access to the drive side of the bottom bracket. I'm going to use the same tool again, insert it on there, and this time I'm going to turn in the clockwise direction. All right, our righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it works the same way on the right side, on the drive side, or the same thing as what we were talking about before on the other side. Push the bottom bracket toward the back of the bike, just like that. And it should break loose. It could be kind of hard. You never know on these. It depends on how they were installed, and depends on weather conditions these things have been through. I mean, these things can get rusted up inside. There's all sorts of different reasons why it might be difficult to remove. Okay, so you'll just keep rotating this out, and finally it will come straight out, just like that. And that's how you remove a cartridge bottom bracket. All right, now we're going to reinstall a cartridge bottom bracket. Now, the first thing you need to do before you install the bottom bracket is you need to grease the threads that are on the inside. So I'm going to take a little bit of bicycle grease. I'm just going to lightly coat the threads on the inside. You don't need a whole heck of a lot inside here because you're not lubricating any bearings. All you're doing is you're lubricating the threads, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit on both sides. Like I said, it wasn't a whole lot. And now I'm going to take my cartridge bottom bracket. You can see on one side, here's the whole assembly right here, okay? This is the cartridge bottom bracket with the spindle. This is the fixed cup side. This is typically the drive side. And a lot of times it'll even say on the bottom bracket, like this one does, right side, left side. Just like this, okay? So you want to take the bottom bracket and you want to install the drive side first. This is on the right side, so it's going to thread in the same way a regular bolt would thread in, okay? So we can thread this in, and by turning counterclockwise to thread this in, okay? Now you want to do this by hand. You don't want to use a tool. You don't want to force this at all. It's very, very easy to cross thread the bottom bracket with the bottom bracket threads in there. And what I'm doing with my hand on the other side, I'm just trying to hold the spindle in the middle of the bottom bracket shell, okay? And I want to keep trying to thread this in until it threads in easily by hand, okay? You don't, like I said, don't use a tool. Once you get the thread started, you want to thread it as far as you can in by hand, only by hand. And it's almost there. I can't really grip anymore, so now I'm going to use the bottom bracket tool by hand again. I'm going to keep threading this all the way, the rest of the way in, until it locks up against the bottom bracket shell of the bike. And I'm gonna take my crescent wrench and give a final little, tighten it down to snug it up really, really good. You don't gotta really put a whole lot of force into it, just enough force to make sure that it's not gonna back out. So we've installed this. We're ready to go to the other side and adjust the non-adjustable cup, or install the non-adjustable cup. All right, now we've rotated the bike back around so I have access to the non-drive side, and we're going to install the adjustable cup side of the bottom bracket now. Now before you install this, you want to put a little dab of grease just on the inside edge so where this cup slides over the existing shell inside real nice and easy. Now again, we're going to thread this in by hand first. Okay, this is going to be a little bit easier than the other side because you have the bottom bracket in there already kind of guiding where this cup goes to. And now this time we're going to tighten it in by rotating it clockwise. So again, what I'm trying to do, I'm just kind of trying to feel where the threads start real nice and easy, and then start threading in by hand as far as you can go. Okay, this is going in nice and easy now, so I know the threads are lined up. Take your bottom bracket tool and continue to tighten up by hand until it starts to get a little snug, and then finish it off with your crescent wrench. I'm just pushing right here. I'm just pushing with my thumb to hold the tool in place while I rotate everything with the crescent wrench. And then when you get down toward the end of it, again, I'm just going to hold everything real nice and tight and snug it down. And again, there's going to be manufacturer's torque specifications that you should tighten it down to, so you can, that's where you would use a socket drive torque wrench to finish off the correct torque on here. Okay, that's it. That's how you install a cartridge bottom bracket. So if you have any questions, call our tech line or come by and visit one of our spin doctors at one of the performance bicycle shops near you, and have a great ride.